Hello, fellow guitar nerds of the interweb. My name's Dan, greeting from the greater Boston metro area, where it appears to be Christmas in July behind my back here. But Christmas for me, kind of in a way, because I came into possession of these two guitars at the same time. I have to give one up. One of them is mine, but I'm making a trade for another one with my new interweb guitar nerd friend, Brent. Thank you very much, Brent. I think we're both going to do good out of this. I think we found some better matches for ourselves. But these guitars we have made by the fabulous Martin Guitar Company. 1952 0021, a 1953 00021. The biggest difference you can tell right away is that this one is 12 frets to the body, the 0021, with a slotted headstock. And this 00021 is 14 frets to the body with your regular paddle headstock. Now, that's the really big difference. But other than that, you've got 00, a slightly smaller body size than the 000 by it's like an inch and a half. Fact checking, citation needed. They're both the 21 style, so you've got your rosewood fingerboard, your rosewood saddle, and then rosewood back and sides with the spruce top. Now, the rosewood on these guys is very interesting. This 000 has very dark with a little bit of red in it. It has a nice wave towards the top bout, the upper bout there, but still mostly straight grain. And this 0021 from 52, it has that chocolate rosewood that you often see. I see on some of the older, like D28s when I see pictures of them. Very interesting. Definitely almost looks a little bit more mahogany-esque, but it definitely has some hallmarks of rosewood in there. And these, yeah, they're just both really great, really interesting guitars. So the tops are very interesting on this guitar because both spruce, but here on the 0021 we have the hallmarks of Sitka spruce, and I'm not an expert. I only play one in videos on the internet. The Sitka spruce turns that pumpkin color, gets that sort of stripiness to it, like you can see a little bit, like almost like a darker, lighter striping all the way across. And the same you can see on this D28 that's from the 90s, that's over my right shoulder here. And this 53, the mystery top year, mystery, has all the hallmarks of that mystery top year. It's got a lighter color to it, tighter grain, more even color all the way across, except for that middle stripe, which you might be able to see a little bit, which is a little bit lighter on one side and darker on the other because of the book matching. It's very interesting. And it's hard to tell how much the top contributes to either of these guitars because the 12 fret versus 14 fret changes where the sound hole is and the bridge and saddle, and it just makes them very different, but also very cool and very similar at the same time. This 0021 weighs about 3.5 pounds, and the 000 weighs about 4 pounds. The 00, all the weight is in the neck. The neck feels heavy on this guy. And the 000 here, all the weight feels like it's in the body, and the neck feels very light. The nut width on these guitars, which is the reason we're both excited to trade. This is a 1 7/8 nut on the 12 fretter here. And on the 14 fretter, we have a 1 11/16 nut, much smaller. Okay, so it's only like 1/8 of an inch. But 3/16, but it just feels so much smaller. And this one feels small. It's got a very thin neck too, where the neck profile on the 00 is more of that triangular feel that you get from the older guitars. But They both, sorry, while I check my notes here, I can't keep all of this in my head. It just comes spilling out. They both have been restrung with Martin Monell 13, so medium strings. They're holding up to the medium strings wonderfully. I like medium strings better. I like the richer sound. I know people poo-poo them on smaller bodied instruments, but they seem to handle them just fine. I like them. Thank you. And I think that's all for my notes down here. Sounds like we should hear these bad boys in action. So let's do some playing. I'm a flat picker. I'm not going to regale you with any sort of finger-picking virtuosity or Jesu, joy of man's desiring or something like that. Nope, we'll try to do these instruments some justice with the Blue Chip TD-50. Okay, I'll actually tell you what I'm playing in case you can't see it very well. I'm back to the 0021 from 1952. We'll do a little up here for the sound hole closer to the microphone. One quick thing in the middle of these demos that I've noticed, because of the 14th fret versus the 12th fret, where the sound hole is, it kind of changes where your hand is. And as we all know, in guitar nerddom, that it changes the sound of the guitar as you hit those strings in a different spot. And because of the 12th fret, your arm's a little bit more forward, and possibly the smaller body shape too. I tend to play in that spot that's a little bit, demands a little softer touch rather than back here. But now we'll do a little true flat picking and see what these boys can hold up to. Well, you get the idea. Let's try that again, shall we? But this time with a triple O 21 from 1953. Back to the 0021. And now we'll play something a little bit softer. These guitars deserve a little bit of pretty, small, delicate. They like it when you touch them gently. which is hard for us aggressive flat pickers out there. It's bang, bang, bang. So let's take a look. Interesting jazz chords. That's harder. Reaching up there. Worth it though, I think. In summary, both very cool guitars. Very cool. So lucky to play them both. Have one for a few years before I pass it on to its new owner, who I think is going to absolutely adore this thing. I think it's going to fit right into his style. And I think this, for what I want it for, which is songwriting and learning songs, playing at home, maybe doing some old time stuff with it with some friends or little duets, some Jimmy Rogers. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah. I think this is going to be great. Well, thank you for watching, and if you have any experience with comparing these two types of guitars, similar years, anything, more information about them, please leave it in the comments. I love to make guitar nerd friends on the interwebs. It's a dangerous place these days. We need to look out for each other. So thanks for coming, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.